If you find yourself with a camera in your hand and you want to learn how to use it, please subscribe to this channel, like the videos, comment down below what you would like to learn more about. Hi Photos photographers. Today we are talking about product photography and what do we do to light product photography. Well, the product I have in mind is perhaps not something everybody's going to image, but it's one of the projects I have right now on my plate. So I have something that I want to photograph, and it is a line of 3 different products, but they're all 3 hot sauce. So I'm taking the items, the product, and I'm setting it on a background. This is going to be a white background. It's tomato base hot sauce. So it's going to be a red hot sauce. It's in clear bottles. Some of the 3 products have different color lids. Not a problem at all. But it's something also you want to take note of so that you have a clear definition of the edge of the product all the way around. That's what I encourage you, if you're doing product photography, to think about is edge detection. The color change from one spot of the product to the next, and be sure that you light the item in such a way to create a distinct difference between the background and the product. So that's edge lighting. Some would call that rim lighting. But the other important aspect is you don't want to light your product photography. Never light the product from the front only. It always gives greater interest if you light from the side. Again, you're going to want to light from the back so that you have full rim lighting, but maybe that's 2 lights from 45-degree angles behind the product. That's something to consider. Making sure that the top, if your perspective of your product is slightly above seeing the top, for instance, this hot sauce bottle, if you have any top perspective of the lid, you're going to want to make sure that that's rimmed with light too. But light it well enough so that you don't get reflections of light from the front, but the label up front is lit so that it can be read and it is seen as to what it is. So when the product is seen on the shelf in a store or anywhere else, it's immediately recognizable. Some of these tips and these ideas and explaining how things are lit come from some of my experience of lighting wine bottles, and it was not necessarily easy. Especially the bigger the bottle, the more area that the bottle will show, and it was not fun trying to catch all those reflections. But creating a separation from the background so that the bottle does not cast a shadow if you don't intend to show the shadow of the bottle. If you do intend to show the shadow, then you're going to want to, in my opinion, you're still going to want to create some separation so that it shows that the shadow is cast a little bit along its tabletop plane and then up the background. But again, I would encourage you to still separate yourself from the seamless background you're shooting on and put a card back there for a background. Perhaps lighting that card in such a way that the card fades into the background, but you're still separately lighting your sweep and the card that the shadow is cast on. But don't just shoot it because I suggested shooting it that way. Play around with it and figure out what does look best. Find what looks best, and then perhaps you want to photograph what the setup is like so that you can recreate that later. I think that's all we're going to go into for right now, and those were pretty quick fire tips. So to recap briefly, we're going to want to make sure to light all the way around, what's called rim lighting, and giving edge to all part of the bottle. The other thing is to light well enough the face that it's legible and can be easily identified on store shelves. And then 3 is separation enough to see that the shadow is cast. If you want to demonstrate and to highlight the shadow as part of the image of the product, then you're going to want to make sure that you catch that shadow properly, and that you can use that separation of the surface you're catching the shadow on distinctly fading into the background of your sweep, or featuring it in some way to be a part of your product shot. So thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to your comments below for how this video has added content to your shooting and value to your shooting. And a thumbs up if it's something that you like and you want to come revisit and have others watch as well. If you're not yet a subscriber, we would love to have your subscription. Thank you so much. God bless.